Welcome to the Electric Spirit Podcast, where we dive into all things metaphysical and fun. Here's your host, psychic medium, Jamie Lynn.
Today we have back Julie Ann Segal. She's an interior designer. And Julie Ann, if you'd like to take the floor and just reintroduce yourself, because you were in an episode a little over a year ago. A while back. So listen to the first one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't even know what I said, but hopefully you'll get some new things today.
That was more about your book that you wrote. And your book, I forget the name of it.
Change your space to change your life.
Yes. Okay. And we talked about that.
Yep.
Now, and since then, you've had some really incredible things happen for you, and you're offering some really great things. And we're going into 2026, which is a year of new beginnings. Yeah.
Yes.
And numerology, it's a 1
That's
year.
right.
Yeah,
Yes,
so-
I follow. That's the universal year, and then my personal year is going into 1 year. So I always follow the universal year, which makes it easier to know.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So if you want to just maybe introduce yourself to the audience, and if you don't mind, and I'm so glad that you came back. This is wonderful.
I'm
So
Julie Ann
nice to have you.
Segal. I have a business, Metro Interiors, for many years. I think in February it'll be 34 years. I started in my 20s, and it's amazing I've made it this far over the years. And in 2023, I came out with a book, Change Your Space to Change Your Life, kind of a book about my journey with feng shui. And I'm an interior designer, but I also have a specialty in feng shui. But this last year, I decided to add more spirituality into my work and help people in that way too, because I see how it all goes together. And just excited to work with people. And I have been in that way, and doing virtual consultations as well as personal consultations in person, what I mean. So in that case, I'm going out to your home and I'm redesigning your home, and I have all the resources, art, accessories, furniture, all that stuff. But I'm also working on an energetic level as well, and using feng shui. And I think learning feng shui made me a much better interior designer, because you see the little nuances that change the energy of a space. Because a space could not only, it could look good, but not always feel good, is what I'm trying to say. So when I work with spaces, I'm making them not look good and feel good. But you have to also get in, when I'm designing a personal space for someone, you have to get into who they are and help them express themselves on their outer self. So it's always important to be working on your inner self as well as your outer self. That's your environment, because they go hand in hand together.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And you do, and we can talk about this more, but you're in in the Minneapolis metro area.
Yes.
But what if I'm in Southern California? What if somebody here wanted to consult with you? How could you do it over Zoom?
Yes, I actually this afternoon I have an appointment with a gal in Iowa. So,
Wow,
I
that's
have people
amazing.
send me photos, and we chat a little bit, through emails or texts, and then I meet with them and they show me things in their home and I help them. And sometimes they have to do it themselves unless they hire me to come there. But I help them, I guide them with all of the above. Sometimes they're going through a hard time and excuse me, need help transitioning and changing their space that way. So we're working on the whole person. And even today, she had me source out some art and accessories for her, because that's easy for my companies to send to her. So today I'm presenting over Zoom some art and accessories for her home in specific areas. And I asked her questions. How big is this? What size is that? So I get an even better feel for size and everything. And it works out.
Wow, that's amazing.
So,
And
yeah.
and the other thing, so I don't know if you want to, we kind of talked about this, but do you want to share a little bit more about your journey in interior design and kind of what drew you to the field?
Sure. Well, I
Yeah.
think when I was young, I was always into furniture. Like I loved art and I would
Oh,
draw, but the things I would like to draw were couches
oh, how
and things like
fun.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
used to
was
draw
into,
that.
and I
Yeah,
used to sit
sofas.
in my
Mhm.
room thinking, oh my gosh, what can make this feel better? Not just look better, but feel better. I was aware from a young age that things, have a feeling to them. And I would redecorate my room 100 times, just with posters. Of course, I didn't have the budget back then. I've come a long way since then. And, I always tell people, look, if they're trying to figure out what they want to do in their life, look back to what they enjoyed and loved as a kid. Because you were really your true self back then. And that's, a good, way to find out what you should be doing today. I also, I loved just all that. And when I went to college, I actually went to college for business. And when I got there, my first year, I had this great um, who was she? Was she my roommate? And
Yeah.
together, she was a year older than me, so she was able to show me the ropes in the school. And she was a psychology major, so she helped me with my emotions. She was just a great person. And I came back my
Mm.
second semester, my freshman year, and I walked into my room and she was gone. I guess I found out later her parents pulled her out of school,
Hmm.
and there was a new roommate. And this roommate had her side of the room decorated so beautifully. It was my mom felt so bad for me. She's like, "Well, let's go to J.C. Penney and decorate your side of the room." So we went, got new bedspreads, some plants, posters, things like that. We
Oh,
made my
cool.
side look really nice too. Well, that was the beginning. The next day, my mom and I were having breakfast, and she's like, "Well, why don't you go into interior design? It's more than just decorating. It's, working with lighting and space planning." And she went on and on. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I was supposed to do. Like it just hit me. That's right. So the next day I went to look into it, and it was in the School of Arts. And I was in art in high school. So all my teachers really pushed me going into the arts. And you know how you just kind of totally forget about all that? Well, it was
Yeah.
all coming back to me in one day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you mean if I switch my career, I mean my major, I could draw and paint and do all those things instead of struggling over algebra and chemistry and bit difficult business courses. And it was great. I switched, and it was a challenge. Interior design, for me at the beginning was like all new. I didn't know architecture, and they were very architectural, but I did well and I made it through that. And that was, thank God my roommate had changed her, had a beautiful room because that's what spurred everything. But the thing is, that roommate did not last. She was not a very nice person. And
Oh,
then
wow.
in a month, I moved out and down the hall with the cute little Spanish girl. So it all worked out.
Interesting. You know, it's interesting. I remember you telling me the story,
Mhm.
a little bit of this, but I don't remember you saying she wasn't nice and she moved out. I don't remember that part, but
Right.
it was interesting. Psychically, I felt like she wasn't very nice.
No, she
It just
wasn't.
confirmed
She
it.
would say mean things to me and expect that I would be her maid.
Oh,
You
geez.
know, I
Wow.
know, like
That's
and be her assistant. She was like, I'm like,
she's barking up the wrong
I'm
tree.
tree. That's right. Bye. It's
Bye,
okay.
Felicia. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Things
it's
happen, but there was
yeah.
a purpose to it. So you can't,
Yeah.
sometimes things happen
Yeah.
and you don't know why they're
Yeah.
happening, but there is
Yeah.
a purpose. Like it
Yeah.
pushed me
There is.
to, yeah.
And I know you've worked with like James Van Prague, he's the
Mhm.
medium, famous
Yeah,
medium. And he always says people are in our lives for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. So she
right.
must have just been a reason for you to
Yeah.
go into interior design.
Exactly, pushed me in the
Yeah.
right direction. I was so
Sure.
much happier doing what I
Yeah.
love too,
I
do what
bet.
you love.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
So,
And was there a specific moment when you realized design could be more than aesthetics and actually, impact how people feel?
yes. Well,
Yeah.
I kind of knew that as a kid, but it was very subconscious. So when I got older in the late 90s, I met a woman, Carol Hyder, who taught feng shui. She studied on the West Coast and brought it to the Midwest. And so it was the late 90s, and someone, good friend of mine, pulled me out to hear her speak on feng shui. I had no idea what it was. And I listened, and everything just clicked. It's like, oh my gosh, this is who I am. This is how I think. There were so many things that finally I started teaching it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I need to get formal training. So that's when I went to feng shui school, and it was a 2-year program at that time, and made it through. Um, 2 years of that, and I thought I was doing it too for myself at that time. And feng shui really is about being intentional and feeling. And I also started to realize things have energy to them, different colors, different textures, different, styles. They just had a different energy. And so to create the energy that you want around you that make you feel good is what I started to realize that I could help people with.
Oh, wow, that's amazing,
Yeah.
Julianne. Wow. And you blend classic, modern, eclectic, and traditional styles. So you do it all. And how do
Right.
you determine what's right for each client?
Well, I listen to them. I let them tell me. I say, "What style are you?" Because usually they know. And if they don't, then it becomes kind of eclectic. Because we start pulling in things, but it's important to know how to make things work together when it's eclectic, and I'm good at that. But I really listen to people because they know if they like more contemporary or more traditional or somewhere in between, or you know. So it's important to listen to what they're saying and ask them the right questions to get that out of them.
Sure. Do you ever have them send like screenshots of their house if you're not there physically?
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh, I have them
okay.
send lots of pictures. Yeah,
Oh,
because I need
nice.
the pictures. It helps me tune into the space. Like one of my virtual clients the other day said, "I wish you could be here." I said, "Yeah, if I could be there, I could help you more because physically I could start moving things around and stuff." But I said, "No, don't worry because I feel the energy. I feel her
Right.
energy. I feel the space. As the more I get to know her, the more I see photos. You know,
Yeah.
more, I start to feel out that space."
Right. And you're very intuitive too. You've studied, you know, uh, I don't know,
Yeah,
like
I've
tarot,
been.
right? Or something, or
No, well, you
you
were
and I
teaching
did
me
tarot. Right,
tarot.
exactly.
You
I know.
teach,
We had to put that
but
on pause,
and
but we'll talk about
yeah,
that at the
yeah,
end.
I really want to keep going with that because I'm using
Me
a little bit of
too.
tarot cards now, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tune into the essence of a person, I think, like who
Right.
they are and how
Hmm.
they feel. Sometimes I get specifics or names come
Oh,
to me. I don't know if that's part of the mediumship thing because I do
yeah.
tune into spirits. Um, but yeah, I'm very
Right.
into, I'm very I have a lot of empathy and
Yeah,
feel
you
things,
do. And
and
you
so do
studied.
you.
I know, of course. And yeah, no, I think we
Yes.
both do. And
Yeah.
and you study with James Van Prague.
Yeah, I
Did you go to
studied under
mediumship
him.
3 or did you go
No, no, I
just
didn't do.
one?
I've just been doing mediumship my whole life.
Oh,
Like,
interesting. Yeah.
and then
Hmm.
the intuition, like when I was 5 years old, my grandma had just passed and I was laying in my bed and she came to me and I saw like a
Oh,
light and I knew it was her. And it was scary though at 5 years old to
yeah.
see that. But then I remember the next day going in and telling my mom, I saw grandma. She came to me and my mom tells me about that too. But
That's
just
sweet.
being in tune with
Yeah.
spirit and subtle energies. And even in high school, I was talking about that to people and
Yeah.
start bringing it up. And now it's a
Right.
little more mainstream.
Exactly. No, that's wonderful. And that's why, I really resonated with you and we've collaborated together. So that's
Right,
wonderful.
right.
Yeah. And
Connect.
and for listeners new to feng shui, how would you explain qi and why flow matters?
Well, I look at it, your space reflects your life.
Yeah.
Therefore, you need to set up your space to help your inner world as well. And that helps things to flow better when your space is set up and you declutter and do all these other things that are feng shui related. When your space is in order, then your life is in order. If things are broken in your space and you're not fixing them over time, it also suggests that things are broken in your life. So you have to look at that. What are you not taking care of in your life?
Wow, that's interesting. That's kind of heavy. You know what I
Does that
mean?
answer my question?
Yes, it does. It does. And can you share an example of how feng shui transformed a space or even someone's life that you've worked with before?
Sure. Well, in my book, I talk about John and Sarah. I think that's maybe chapter 2 of my book. And John was a man I met many years ago, good looking, successful guy, but he had just gone through a divorce and he had one daughter named Sarah who was in her early teens. Yet she had some attitude toward her daughter. So if you know of anyone who has teens, you'll probably know, most of you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. So he was really scared. He came to me and said, Julie Ann, I am so scared that Sarah, now that I'm divorced, she's not going to want to spend time in my home. So he hired me not on the premises on feng shui. He didn't really know much about feng shui, but to redecorate his home. But of course, I use it at a more subtle level on changing the space so that it reflects what the daughter wanted too. So I would talk to her, and she wanted a space that was she could have play games and have friends over and do fun stuff, maybe even have a pool table. And so there was a musty smelling yucky basement in their house. It was an older home in a nice area of the Minneapolis suburbs. And the basement was just like, stained Berber carpet and stark white walls and a dilapidated sofa and no lighting and no art on the walls and papers and books thrown all over because there was nowhere to put them or store them. So we went and I created this space that she had in her mind. I put in, she wanted purple walls. I want purple walls. So we put in a deep purple wall, but then white wainscoting on the bottom so it would keep it light, new carpet, a beautiful sofa. She got her pool table in. We redid all the lighting in there. So the lighting was great. Big screen TV. And there was a little area, a little alcove. I said, let's build in a little snack bar for the kids. So we did
Wow.
that so they didn't have to go up and down the stairs every time they wanted a drink or whatever. And
Hmm.
once we got, he was, even scared. I'm spending all this money. Is this going to really work? And a month after it was finished, he called me. He's like, Julie Ann, I'm so happy Sarah is doing all the things that we talked about, and she's spending time in my home. So from there, he went and we redesigned the upper family room. And after that, she was spending time with him, and watching sports and having snacks together and doing that kind of stuff. And then we redid the dining room. And then she was having dinner parties with her and her friends. So it brought
Oh,
them together for these formative years that, she wasn't going to be there forever. And she actually went on to college, and I think she's a lawyer now on the East Coast.
oh,
So this was a while back, but I saw how really changing the space, first of all, I made it flow better. He had tried doing his upstairs family room himself and spent all this money, and it didn't work. We had to let go of all that and redesign it so it felt more open. That's where I used feng shui and had more flow to it. And
wow.
otherwise, it felt stuck. No, he picked out sofas that no one could sit in, and they were totally white and they were messy looking.
Oh.
And of course, but he didn't know. That wasn't his thing. He was brilliant in other
Sure.
things. He was
Of course.
yeah. So, just that was a good story about, making these changes and having your intention work out. It's all about intention.
Right,
What's your
exactly. That's
intention?
amazing. That's
Hmm.
really cool. I really like that story. And your book
Thanks.
is like, you said change your space, change your life. So you did change his space and you changed the life of him and his daughter because they could
Right.
bond more and have
Right. The
fun and
real
be yourself.
remodel was to
Yeah,
their relationship, you know?
sure. That's
Like I said, you
interesting.
don't have to do major overhaul to make changes. People think that because in this case, we did some remodeling and
Hmm.
did everything, but sometimes it's just moving things around and decluttering and putting a bench where there wasn't one before or a mirror where there wasn't one
Yeah,
to expand the
right.
area. So
Sure.
sometimes it doesn't mean that you have to go out and spend lots of money unless you want to and totally revamp the whole thing. That's kind of fun. But if you can't
Exactly.
do that, it's fine too to move things around. You can get the same result.
Interesting. Okay, that I like that story too.
I
Of the
know,
dad
so
and the
cute.
daughter. That's nice. And how do you define spiritual design counseling? Because that's what you're doing now. Didn't you just learned
Yeah.
that? So it's
Well,
spiritual design counseling. And
I,
how would you define that? Or
well,
how are
it's
you
about
using it?
creating, feng shui, interior design, and spirituality. To me, they all go together. The more I work with this, the more you have to work on, think about the person's emotions and how, do they need help with that? If they want help, they have to want help in that way as well. Sometimes I'm working with people who just went through a divorce who lost a loved one, and they're making changes, so you want to be gentle with them and help them navigate that whole process. But when I'm working with people on this level too, it doesn't mean you have to have gone through something tough, but you're creating energetic balances, like using feng shui to create more harmony and promote positive energy flow. So, that's a spiritual concept, incorporating personal rituals like meditation, prayer, or yoga, making spaces in your home for things of that nature. Um, Personalizing the design with colors, decor, and getting rid of things that don't matter anymore, that's not part of your life or doesn't say, everything says something that you own. Whether does it say something nice or is it negative? If it's negative, then maybe gently let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Using holistic materials like wool and eco-friendly, non-toxic materials. That's all part of taking care of ourselves and the environment, um, and enhancing well-being through design. So balancing light, even adding scents to the space and texture,
Yeah.
fresh flowers, things like that that bring life into a space,
Mm-hmm.
and fusing crystals, bringing that kind of energy into a space, and sacred symbols and things that are meaningful to a person. And that might be their religion, bringing some of those things, whatever it is for each person that makes them feel comfortable and protected. Um, and just helping guiding them through emotional issues too. So, just kind of
Yeah.
working on the whole thing, the
Oh.
whole person and the whole environment, and and where I just kind of go wherever each person wants to go. If someone wants to go deeper, we go deeper. If they want to keep it light and just work with the colors and fun shapes and stuff like that, we'll do that. But I use my intuition when I'm working with them, whether or not they want to bring more spirituality into it or not. I'm just there to hold their space and help them, um, you know, create what they want, help them express themselves in who
Yeah.
they
Oh, of
are.
course.
Does
No,
that
that sounds
answer that
wonderful.
question?
Yeah, and that's a new service you're offering.
Yes, through a
Wow.
lot of it's came through doing virtual consultations,
Mm-hmm.
because people were coming to me that needed help on a deeper level. In that case, not always, but sometimes they just were getting through a hard time and wanted something fun to do, like decorate the house. They were ready for it now, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and have it flow better and feel better and clean things up more.
Sure, that
So.
makes sense. That's very interesting. I really like that. I
Mm.
like that concept. And have you noticed common patterns between someone's environment and what they're experiencing internally?
Yes, well, like, have you ever felt like you look around and your office is chaotic, and that internally you realize you feel chaotic too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's hard when you have too much stuff around you. It's hard to even rest. You know,
Yeah.
it just feels better to have the space organized and with the right intentions and things that support your life, who you are now, not from the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to keep some things from the past if they have good memories attached to them. But
Sure.
if they
Yeah.
don't, then you can gently let them go. I just did a
Yeah.
video on that. I've been making a lot of videos with a lot of good feng shui tips.
Oh,
So I don't know if you've
yeah.
seen any of them, but I encourage people to watch them because I do take the time to make them and give them a lot of tips.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So I'm
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, I like that.
on there.
No, that's good. And then you're doing Chinese astrology now, and you've been studying Chinese
Yes.
astrology, and what sparked your interest in that?
Well,
Mhm.
astrology's been a very big passion of mine since I was about 20 years old, and my mom took me to a Western astrologer. I was so amazed, and especially after I had my four kids. I found the tape she made for me when I was 20. I hadn't heard it. I didn't remember anything
Wow.
on it. And I remember playing it and she said, "You will have four kids." Like this is after I had my kids and didn't remember anything. She said,
Huh.
"You will have four kids and that two of them would live more your lifestyle and two would live a different lifestyle." And
Mm.
two of my kids, my two married kids, I'm very proud of them, but they
Yeah.
became more religious. They live a very different
Oh,
lifestyle than me.
I
And then the
see.
two that live here in Minneapolis, they are more, live more the way I do.
Yeah, right,
So it was just
exactly.
so interesting, but I just found astrology to be so accurate. And then I studied a little bit of Western astrology, but then I thought, which one will I take a deeper dive into? And because feng shui really relates to what we call Bazi or Chinese astrology, there's a strong resemblance on
Oh.
working with the energies of a person. So I chose to
Mhm.
start studying that on a deeper level. And I've been doing that all year. Um,
Wow.
and I'm getting somewhere. It's interesting how it helps people to understand themselves
Yeah, exactly. That's
when
really
you can read
interesting.
it. So I've gotten to the
Yeah.
point where I could, I thought
Hmm.
with my consultations, if people want me to work on that and look at that, I could tell them what I see and help them realize sometimes
Sure.
it tells them who they are. Like there's something called the day master. And if you look up a person's
Oh.
day master, it tells them the core essence of who they are. But
Oh,
then there's all
really?
these things, how
Huh.
relationships go together,
Huh.
like looking at my ex-husband's chart and my chart, now I
Yeah.
see where the clash was. There's clashes, you
Interesting.
know.
What do they call that again? And how can people look
Ba
that up? Can they look it
it's
online?
Bazi,
Oh, Bazi.
B-A-Z-I,
B-A-Z.
B-A-Z-Z-I.
Okay.
Bazi, it's complicated. Like I've studied
Okay.
it,
Oh, it's
I've known
complicated.
about it for a long time, but I've studied
Yeah.
it intensely this year, and I'm still,
Interesting.
I'm getting somewhere with
Mhm.
it. But
Wow, that's
yeah.
interesting. Where did you study this from, the
I
Chinese
have,
astrology?
well, a woman that
Hmm.
got her degree from Joey Zapp in
Oh,
Asia. She's
okay.
like well known for this, and she went for many years, and
Uh-huh.
she teaches here in the Twin Cities, but she teaches all over. Um,
Okay.
she her name's Amy Tyson, if anyone
Oh,
wants to look
interesting.
her up. She's
Okay.
amazing, her classes, and I asked her if she would give me private lessons.
Oh,
And so
really?
I've been
Okay.
going all year for private lessons because I just need
Interesting.
that hand one-on-one,
Yeah.
and then I take
Hmm.
her classes too, and from studying with her one-on-one has helped me understand the classes more when I'm in a huge group.
Oh, I see.
So I can
Okay, that's
follow along a
interesting.
lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's your Chinese zodiac sign? I'm just
Oh, I'm
curious.
I'm a dragon. What are you? Do you
Ooh,
know?
I'm a rat.
A rat. Don't know you rat. I know.
No,
But a
dirty rat.
dragon and a rat are really good.
Hmm.
Um, Combination. So you and I,
Yeah.
it's just a nice
Hmm.
flow. But the thing is that you should pull your whole chart or have me pull your whole chart because we
Yeah.
all have four animals in us.
Interesting.
So the rat is
Yeah.
just your year pillar. There's called four different
Oh.
pillars and they all have
Uh-huh.
different meanings. So you
I'm
have
a
to know
water
all.
rat. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
have
know
to
that.
know. Yeah, I believe you're a water rat. Because
Yeah.
water energy is philosophical and flowy and dreamy, and you're a Pisces too, right?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah, so
Pisces.
that's
Yeah.
all goes together.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to have you on and we could go over the Chinese astrology.
Yeah, give me another
Yeah.
one more
Oh,
year.
oh yeah.
I
Okay.
can help people
Yeah,
now with
next
what I
year.
know, but to
Okay.
really, really talk
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
gonna
wonderful.
keep
And we're
going.
going into the year of the horse. What do you have any comments on
Yes.
that, or what do you think about
Yeah, it's
that?
gonna be a tough year,
It really?
unfortunately.
Oh, you're
Yes,
kidding.
it's gonna be
Okay.
fast. I mean, I'm sure there's good things. I'm
Okay.
in a
Sure.
class right now where we're studying the whole year.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we've gotten only as far as like personally what's gonna happen, but
Oh.
on a global scale, it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna be
Oh,
working through things. I mean, the
okay.
overall outlook is that it will help us in the end, but it won't feel like that. You know how that
Oh,
goes.
wow. Wow, it's interesting how
Just
the
like
20s have just been a complete
I
disaster.
know, well, we're
And
in
it
from
started with COVID.
what I understand, we're in a uh exactly, we're in a 50-year or a 30-year reset. And it started
Oh,
in
with Pluto,
2020 and it
right?
goes to 2050.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
there's, I figure in my lifetime I might not see the, I mean, there's going to be years that are better than others, things like
Hmm.
that, but we're
Yeah.
definitely into this cycle
Wow.
now. And that's,
Interesting.
I'm trying to
Gee
just
whiz.
relax into it because it's not easy, right?
No, it's not.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. And do you see the Chinese astrology as another way of helping people understand themselves more deeply?
Absolutely. That's how
Okay.
how I can help
Uh,
people now is to look at who
Yeah.
they are
Uh-huh.
and what astrology says about them. And they have to feel that out. Usually it's like, oh yeah, that's right, but it helps them to understand themselves more so that they can project their light into the world.
Sure, that makes sense. And how can people start creating a more nourishing environment without a full redesign?
Well, I said the first thing would be declutter, declutter, declutter.
Okay.
Because clutter, let go of the things you don't love. Just think about if you have a whole space that just has things that you love and
Mhm.
need and nothing else. The energy would raise. The
Yeah.
energy, vibration raises in your space when you let go of things that don't have a bad connotation to
Yeah.
them, or you don't love them, or they're from the past and they don't make any sense to you. So decluttering also is about not having too much stuff in a space, too much stuff for the space, because then it's overwhelming. It's hard to relax in a space like that. Having too much stuff can depress you or put your life on hold. Sometimes you don't want to have people over because your home is so cluttered that you put your life on hold and don't entertain or, do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then in feng shui, boy, I really encourage you to just watch my videos because there's so many tips. And also, if you sign up for my newsletter, you go to I think it's julieannsegal.com, that page, and scroll down to the end, sign up for my newsletter, and I give away for free. You can download my 10 feng shui tips, my 10 top ones. One of them is about clutter, but one of them is to make sure your entryway is clear of clutter too, because that's the mouth of chi. That's where abundance comes into your life. The front door should be painted a different color than anything else on the house, not the shutters or the siding or whatever, because it makes it stronger. And you could put two beautiful plants on either side and have good lighting there and a nice, easy path to the front door, just to make it easy. Nothing behind the door, like when you open it, there should be nothing stored behind any doors because it's like you're not able to move fully.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Wow, that's
things of that
interesting.
nature and check out my tips.
Yeah, definitely. And your YouTube channel, how did people find it?
Well,
I'll have it in the
I'm actually,
yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be the case for always, but I'm right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and what's the Instagram?
Yeah.
I
Right.
post them on all of them, but I'm going to get a better strategy because it's kind of overwhelming to do that. Uh, but I'll be still posting them and giving fun tips and yeah, a lot of
Okay.
these tips because a lot of these are just subtle differences you can make that open up the energy and also to in put things in your home with intention, being very intentional and conscious about what you're doing
Sure.
in your
And
space.
so you're like, I made a boo-boo when I first did all this. I mean, I'm at SoCal Healer, and that's what I am on Instagram, and then on everywhere else, I'm at Psychic Jamie
Right.
or at Psychic Jamie. Yeah. So
Yes,
I,
I know we
what is,
all,
yeah, what
I'm
do you,
just, it's either at Metro Interiors, because that's
mm-hmm.
my business name,
Yeah,
Metro
right.
Interiors,
Uh-huh.
or some of them, like on TikTok, I think I'm just Julie Ann Segal.
Okay. And Siegel's S is in Sam.
Segal. Yeah, when I make my
Right.
videos, sometimes I
Yeah.
say Segal,
Uh-huh. Right.
Segal, because there's a lot of ways to spell it. So I
I
just
know
want,
there is because my mom's a Siegel and she
oh,
doesn't
she
spell
is.
it your yes,
How
she
does she
is.
spell it?
Siegel.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's her maiden name.
Segal.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, okay, there was I have one two I think two more questions for you, Julianne.
Sure. Go tell me, ask
And I
me.
really appreciate you coming today, and I look forward to
Yeah.
having you back. And I am
Yeah.
looking forward to the new year. I hope, it is the year of the horse. I hope some good
Right.
things come. I
It
hope the
starts
economy gets better.
In
Yeah.
February, the year of
Okay.
the horse. And
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
one thing
Yeah.
I mean, I know I
Uh-huh.
will be teaching a class in February, I
Oh,
think 7th with
okay.
Kelly
Oh, fun.
White.
Yep.
And we're going
Hmm.
to do feng shui together. We're going to teach
Oh,
feng
that'll be
shui class
fun.
like beginning feng shui. So that would be a great
Yeah.
class to take if you want to find out
Yeah.
more
Hmm. Yeah. And
about it.
Kelly is friends with James Van
He's
Prague.
that's they're best
Yeah, they're
friends,
best
pretty much.
friends. So I
Yeah.
watched their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, it's very interesting. You and
And
Kelly
Kelly,
are really fun together.
right. We have a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
time and she
Yeah.
has her own on Tuesday nights. She has her own show called Ask
Hmm.
Me Anything and such a
Yeah. That's a good
great
one.
show. And yeah, I
Mhm.
love it.
It's
She's so
nice.
fun.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, right? She goes to
Hmm.
YouTube Live. Yeah.
Yes, and
That'll be
Facebook,
great.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, and where can people sign up for that class?
Well, if they sign up for my newsletter, they'll get all that information.
Okay.
Um, so sign up for my newsletter because that's
Okay.
where I'll be giving all that
Okay. Okay.
information. Yeah,
Okay.
we're
And then
just getting
yeah.
that up soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go to your website. It's metrointeriors.com.
Carriers.com. Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
the class up there, but I may put it up there too.
Okay.
But metrointeriors.com or julieannsegal.com. I
Okay.
rebranded myself this year.
Oh,
So I
nice.
think I have that a new website and
Oh, that's great.
added the julieannsegal.com part.
That's no, that's wonderful. So you got a new domain too, so they could go
Yeah,
to
I
both.
have
That's
both.
no, that's wonderful. And when is the class again?
February 7th.
February 7th.
I think it's going to be Saturday morning from like 10 to 12, like a 2 hour class. And
Okay.
Kelly and I, we always do meditations and
Sure.
teach and we have fun. And
Yeah.
she watches all the people asking questions. So we
How
keep up on
fun.
that. And
And you guys are on Zoom. This will happen on
yeah,
Zoom.
it'll be a
Okay,
Zoom.
cool.
You'll get a
Okay.
Zoom link.
Wonderful. That is great. And then what excites you most about the future of design and spiritual integration?
Hmm. Just to make people think about who they are and what they really want.
Yeah.
Um, they need to, yeah, to make themselves happy, to feel good, to, I'll do feng shui rituals to lift myself if I start feeling depressed. I live in a area where there's hardly any sun for many months and it's below zero. And so you have to really create a nice environment with inside your home, but it can help lift your spirits. And
Mm.
um, one thing I did yesterday, this is a ritual that everyone can do. Do you want to know?
Yes, of
That helps.
course I
So
do.
you
I want
take
to
an
know.
orange. I had this big mandarin orange, those big funny ones. I don't know if you know. I did
Yeah,
that. You could do that, or you can take an
sure.
orange and take all the peel off and take the peel and make them into little round, make 9 round pieces
Of the
like that
orange
of the
peel.
orange peel. So
So,
nine is a Yeah. Oh, look.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
why are we
So
doing that?
I
There's
know that, isn't
hands
that
and
funny?
stuff.
It knows I'm doing that. That is so funny. I never saw that.
I don't want to
Please
flip
look,
the
it will
bird
do
off to
this.
this thing.
It's not doing this. Okay. Please.
That's funny.
Um, so
Oh.
where was I?
Oh, so you take 9 pieces of the orange.
Yeah,
So you're
nine.
taking the peel and you're making it into a
Nine
ball.
round, yeah, making
Okay.
nine, just cut,
Mm.
I use my fingernail. They don't have to be perfectly round, but get more rounded little round pieces that you make.
Oh, you just make them
Just
into a circle. You don't
circle,
make it
yes.
into a,
No, not
okay,
into a ball, a
just
circle.
make them
So
into a
now
circle.
nine
Hmm.
round pieces. Nine is an auspicious number in China and Chinese, and feng shui comes from China. So
Hmm.
that's where we get the nine, nine. I
Yeah,
suppose if
of
there's another
course.
number that you like, that you can use whatever you want, but we do that and then we hold it in our hand and say nine times. We do what's called, it's three secrets of reinforcement, which is
Oh,
Oma Omani Padme Now that's in my book, but it's Omani Padme If there's another, it means the opening up of a lotus blossom to reveal its true essence. So it's nothing wild or crazy. And if there's another saying that's meaningful to you, you can say that too. But just something that's meaningful, you say it nine times holding these, and then you put them in a baggie or something or a little bowl and keep them by your side that day. And you let all the negative energy go into the orange peels. You smell them too. Make sure you take a good smell of them. Let the negative energy all day long, the energy will go into those peels and you can feel it. I mean, I feel it falling off me.
wow.
Even as we talk right now, negative energies leaving me.
Interesting. And
And
you
then
keep it on you. You have to
yeah,
have
on
the
you
baggie on
or
you.
by
Uh-huh.
you. Sometimes I'll put
Okay.
it in my purse if I'm running
Oh,
around.
okay.
And then at the end of the day or the next morning, whenever you remember, take them out and just gently throw them away or flush them down the toilet because there's now, you're flushing all the negative energy away or letting
Oh,
them
wow.
go. And it's
Okay.
really impactful, really helped me to pull up my energy when I feel down.
And you say the next day you either flush them down the
Yeah,
toilet or
flush them
get rid
down
of
the
them.
toilet or
Okay.
get rid of them.
Right. Do you sleep with them?
Um, you could put them by your bedside. You
Okay.
could do it at the end of the day, let it go. Or if you feel like you use your own intuition, do I need them a little bit longer? Just let the negativity go into the orange peels. You don't have to worry about negativity anymore. It's all going into the
Wow.
orange peel.
Okay. And how often should people do this?
Just I do it when I have an orange, first of all, and when I feel like I need it.
Yeah,
I
I
think when you feel
understand.
like you need it.
Sure. I definitely need it. I'm going to go get an orange
Go
right
do it.
after this
Yeah. Do you have
interview.
an orange? Do you have one?
I don't think so. I have those little cuties, but I'm going to go get an
Yeah, you
orange
can
because
use that too. You can,
yeah.
if you need to unpeel two of them to get the little round,
Oh,
then do
okay.
that.
It'll
Yeah, you
work
can
with
do that.
cuties.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Just
cool.
citrus,
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
smell them. They bring good, it's aromatherapy too.
Yeah, definitely. It
Mhm.
surely is. And where can listeners learn more about your work? I know we kind of gave them your
Okay,
website,
right.
and where could they work with you directly?
On my website, they can go to julieannsegal.com
Hmm.
and find where to sign up for a virtual consultation. Or if you're in the Minneapolis Twin City area, you can email me at julie@metrointeriors.com or sign up there for an in-person one as well. But you can sign up right up on my website now. I have a calendar there for a 1 hour consultation, and either the system will kick out a Zoom link for you,
Okay.
or I will send you a Zoom link. It depends if it's working. Sometimes it
Yeah.
kicks out a Zoom link and sometimes it doesn't. So I am aware of that.
Okay.
But we'll
Okay.
get that to you.
And I found you on YouTube. You're Julie Ann Segal, and it's at Metro Interiors
Yeah.
6443. Um, you
Yeah.
offer a lot of videos. You have a lot of shorts. It's
Yeah.
pretty
I've just done
cool.
pretty much shorts
Yeah.
recently.
And you know what comes up too is your interview with Kelly White and James Van Prague, and they talk
Yeah.
about what feng shui is. That's one if they searched your name on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
I've
one
been
of the
on there
videos.
twice. I was on
Yeah,
there
so
twice, so you can
it's
find that.
really interesting. I mean, I'm so grateful that you were on the show. And I just wanted to say, I have been missing for about a year. I'm kind of changing the show. I'm doing a little bit more spiritual things, kind of diving into more, metaphysical things.
Right.
In the past, I had more people on here like coaches and stuff. I'm kind of going to veer away from that, but I
Do.
think the spiritual counseling is really good. But I don't want to like air my dirty laundry, but I've been through the ringer the past year, but I think
Right.
this year will be a better year for me, and I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. But it's
Right.
been,
Good.
and Julie, because we've talked about it, we won't say anything, but
Right.
it's been difficult, but it's going to get better. And just having you as the first guest where I'm getting back on track
Gonna
really
do.
means a
Right.
lot to me, and I really appreciate you.
Good. Well, you do a good job at this. So keep it
Well,
up and
thank you.
I'm I'm
I
a fan of
enjoy this.
yours.
I'm a
So
fan of yours. I mean, yeah. So, and then, maybe in the future you and I could offer a class together. That would
yeah,
be
I
fun.
think I would
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
that.
that would
We
be
have to talk
great. That we
about
could,
that in our coffee dates.
yeah, definitely. And we'll have like a Zoom thing, and we'll do like, I like to do the groups where people get together and they you know what I mean? And then we all come together and say, well, what did you get from this? Or, so
Right.
that would be fun. But I really appreciate you being here, and
Yeah,
they can,
thank
and we'll have
you.
all your information because I'm going to put this on YouTube on the Electric Spirit Podcast YouTube channel,
Good.
and then on
Let me
Psychic
know.
Jamie, yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube channel. I'll do
You'll
both.
write me when it's up
Definitely.
so I
Oh, for
can
sure.
promote
And
it.
I'm going to put this up probably next week if that works before New
Yeah,
Year's. And because we're recording
perfect.
this right before Christmas Eve. And I just wanted to thank the audience. I do get my downloads every week. So people are still downloading the podcast, even though I haven't been here in a year. But I just wanted to let everybody know I'm back and I'm ready to roll
Yes,
and
there
have a
you
great
go.
2026.
Yay, yay.
So
I'm here to support you.
thank you for
So I
starting it
thank you.
off with me, Julianne,
Well,
and you're
thank you
just
for having me.
and get Julianne's book.
Yeah,
Um,
Metro. Yep. Change your
yeah,
space to
change.
change your life.
Yes, it's a wonderful book. It really
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah, and they can find it on Amazon, I think.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah.
To the Electric Spirit Podcast with your host, psychic medium Jamie Lynn. Find us on Instagram at Electric Spirit Podcast. Be sure to join us next time. Recharging your energy, recharging your magic, recharging your spirit. Until then, ciao.